Hi, I'm Skyline, and in this video I'm going to show you some flight comparisons between Butterflight 3.6.6 and the new version of Butterflight 3.6.7. Some new developers have taken it upon themselves to go in and work on updating the firmware since the old devs left it, and since Helio has gone open source, they've been able to take the old version of Butterflight and incorporate the IMUF filters that used to only be on the F3 chip of Helio boards and make them available for all of the flight controllers. And I can tell you it feels 100% the same as if you were flying a Helio. So it doesn't really matter that they don't make Helio boards anymore as much. People can stop complaining about that. The IMUF filters are really still just the magic behind it. First I'm going to show you some flight comparison videos between my Tiny Whoop and my Toothpick, and then after that I'll go through the whole installation process that I went through with installing it on my Toothpick. There's two versions of what I'm recommending people do to install it. One version is if you're already running Butterflight, you can just straight install the hex file, then run a diff file, and then you're good to go, as well as the suggested CLI commands that are on the actual GitHub page where you get the hex file from. So basically, yeah, let's get right into it then. First we're gonna watch some flight video. We'll watch the Tiny Whoop stuff first. First I'm going to show you what it looked like when I was flying it on 3.6.6. So I think it was right in here. See? It's running decently, but there's still like some shakes you'll see in the footage itself. I think this is when I was racing. Let's go back over here. So flipping. It worked pretty well, but like this dive was decent. But to do flips and rolls and stuff, I really had to force it, you know? And it would wash out really bad and stuff like this. Wash. And then, yeah, I'll just watch it for a second. Boom. So that was the last version. Now this is just earlier today on the new version. I think it was right in here. There's no struggling to do rolls and flips anymore. It can pull out of maneuvers a lot better. Like, it's just all around a lot better. Even on this little 65mm Tiny Whoop. This I thought was pretty impressive too. Just straight dive right under, no wash even coming underneath the like thing. That was the only time I saw it wash in the entire time I was flying this morning, also. that's the tiny loop footage for the most part. That was cool. Now on to some toothpick footage. This was before, I think? No, this was before. And this is also on Who Cares props, which I've always felt like were the most smooth out of all the options we have right now. The next video is actually on Puriflip props, which on Butterflight 366 were vibraty and unflyable. And now on 367 they're actually like, you can fly them and they're totally doable. Let's check some of that video out. And whereas on 366, when that leaf just hit me, I would have been on the ground. Now it just kind of catches itself. As long as you got enough space for it to do it, you're good. It's gonna help a lot with not getting stuck places. Oh yeah, I hit that tree there. This is just me playing with it, like trying to test the abilities that this little toothpick's got going on with these new filters. Almost ended up in a couple of the trees doing it too. It was pretty funny. I was like, whoa, that's not what I was going for. So anyway, let's move on to the installation process. The first thing you're going to need to do, if you don't already have Butterflight, or at least the Butterflight configurator 10.4.3, you need to go and download this configurator from the Butterflight GitHub, Butterflight configurator, and then releases. The link will be in the description, so you can download that first, and then after you download that, once you've got this configurator installed on your computer, go ahead and open it and connect your quad up to the configurator. Once in the configurator, if you're on Betaflight, it's going to come up with just a CLI. You're not going to have the full configurator set up like Butterflight people will, but if you're on Butterflight, you'll go to CLI, and you'll type diff, and then it'll come up with all of this, and you'll go and you'll open a notepad right here, and you'll save it right into your notepad. You'll also want to take note of what your version is, which is the target version that is on your board currently. Then once you figure out what target you've got, go into here, and this is quick flash / butterflight / universal IMUF, then releases, and read this entire page, and go down here to wherever your hex file is and download your hex file. In my case, it's Matec F411-4926. Then you're gonna go and over to your quad that is still here, and then press BL, which will put it into DFU mode. Take and open load firmware, which will bring you to wherever you downloaded your firmware to, and select the hex file that matches your target of your board. Open it up. It'll say loaded local file, hit flash firmware, which, yeah, we're just going to do that. Make sure you have full chip erase checked when you flash your firmware. Then once your firmware is flashed, you can go ahead and go right into your board into the main configurator, go down to the CLI again, then open up this page again where you got your hex file from, and copy all of this stuff into your CLI. And just hit enter. Whoops. For some targets, you're going to need to change the CPU overclock if you choose to run a CPU overclock. For my target, since it's an F411, the highest it will overclock to is 120 megahertz. So then you have to type set CPU overclock equals 120 megahertz, enter, and that will change that. Then you want to go in here wherever you had your diff folder before in your notepad folder file. Let's go there, and you'll take everything. If you're using Butterflight, you'll take everything that you had before and just directly copy and paste it right onto here. If you weren't running Butterflight before, you can only do, I would only suggest rather that you copy stuff like your resource remapping if you did it. Serial, aux, that kind of stuff. All of this you'll want to have to set up manually, and you can probably copy your rate profile and your pins, I would assume. So we're only going to do sources, features, sources through aux, because those things are the things that changed by your settings. I'm going to copy those. Then we're also gonna copy them, paste, enter. It'll change all of those things over. Let's make sure that our resources remapped properly. This is taken. Okay, so we asked for 6, we got 6, we asked for 7, we got 7, we asked for 4, got 4, asked for 5, got 5. Okay, cool. Then we're going down, all those things mapped properly. We're going to go back to our notepad and take our rate profile from before because the rates haven't changed. And hit copy those and put them right into there. And then hit that up. If you had VTX settings, actually I think your OSD settings should be about the same. Anything that isn't in Butterflight will just show up as unknown. So if you want to go into up here because you want to do as little as possible and take where is it? Everything OSD and VTX, all that stuff down, and copy that, paste that in place, and then you should have most of it set up. then just type save, and let's see what's set up. So from here, you'll want to go and check, okay, that's set up correctly. We've got these, my smart audio was on UART 1, my SBUS is on UART 2, on the data 12 amp port on my toothpick. So those are correct. We're running the configurator, it's already in reverse props like it was before. We have to change this over to BShot 600 because that's what we are running currently. We can move this up to 8K because we are not running the 32K gyro. We do not have a barometer, so we can turn that off. If you want to turn your accelerometer on just to double check that your orientation is in the right direction. Also make sure anti-gravity is still turned off if it didn't accidentally get turned on somehow. I turn air mode fully on because I only fly acro, but if you can fly whatever versions you want. If you want to turn the accelerometer on for angle mode or acro trainer mode, then hit save and reboot. It should save and reboot. There it goes. My computer's taking a minute because it's doing so many things, I guess. Oh, our orientation is not in fact correct yet, so you do want to make sure you reset that. I'm pretty sure I need to do roll 180 degrees. Roll 180, and we'll go ahead and save that. Reboot it. Now we've got a correct orientation. Okay, so once you've checked your orientation, you can go back to the configuration file or tab and turn your accelerometer back off. Save and boot. I'm gonna flash through all of these things, I think. Next. Make sure your receiver is working. Oh, I need a battery for this. We got a working receiver. Make sure the modes are in place. And modes are good. Flip over at the cache. See if the OSD is good. OSD is good. Alright, looks like everything is already set up actually. So for the most part, it's really easy once you flash it over and copy your diff over. There's not really much else you need to do. Just flash it and go see if it flies well. In my case, it flew super good right off the bat. Oh yeah, check your PID thing and make sure that stuff copied over correctly. And in fact it did. So you know, this is basic checkup on everything. That's really all there is to it. And then have fun, go fly. That's pretty much it.